Hi, my name is Inga Kimberly Brown. If you were coming to dinner, I think that we're very informal in our family, but we have extremely intelligent conversation. So we don't hide. We're very polite. And I think that, I want to say when I say we don't hide is, if the discussion is going to be about race and um and the person may be a white American or even some black Americans or Native Americans, or I think if we have something to say that's not offensive, we're going to say it. We're Our family is of triracial heritage. I am born in the North, but my father and mother are Southern. I come from divorced parents. My mother is extremely intelligent, extremely kind, um, and was a very high-ranking professional. She knows how to talk to people and make them feel welcome. She's a great cook. And my sister's also a very interesting person, my brother. So we're very, I would say, um, I want to say well thought out, but I don't want to say that. I want to say open and conversationalist. And we research and our answers to things. In a way, what I'm saying that we're not just going to throw it out there without understanding what we're talking about. Um, and let's say, thinking about family, right? At their dinner table, I would say that we wholeheartedly want to hear what you have to say, especially in our own home. Um, and we are, um, let's say, culturally, I think that in a way, I don't think that we're defensive of our culture or defensive of our race. I think we are understanding that a lot of people do not have the information. I think we're understanding that a lot of people assume they have the information. Like, for instance, African American, the term from grandmothers to your current person in front of you. We don't like the term. We rather hear Black American because we're not from Africa and nor are we 100% African. And being in a country so long and being racially mixed in that country, um, I don't think that there's a connection to Africa. And in fact, a lot of Black people in America had to be told that they were even coming from Africa. I know that my great aunt would talk about that a lot, coming from Georgia. I think she said she learned a lot of her history from Gregory Peck on some kind of film that I think it was Moby Dick. So it was interesting. It was really interesting for her to say that, because she didn't know how to read. And at the time, there wasn't a lot of things out there for, like in the 30s and 40s, for Black Americans to understand their heritage besides slavery. So I come from proud people that were proud um, of their ancestors who were slaves and who were Native Americans and who were white slave owners. So I feel like that's a really weird kind of pride. It's kind of conflictual to be multiracial, to be triracial, and to have grandparents that were mixed race, that knew their parents, that didn't have that racist history, and that were from the deep, deep South. And that's another thing. My family is from Georgia and North Carolina. Me and my brothers and sisters are born in Philadelphia, but that's where we're from. Now, if we're going to my father's house, uh, in North Carolina for a conversation. Ooh, now that can get crazy because although he is of mixed race, he's very defensive about uh, how white people have treated black people. And the story gets so conflictual and confusing because he is the one who has more white blood than, of course, I do. Um, his mother was 50% white, and that wasn't even directly being, how can I say this? Having one parent that was white. In fact, both her parents were of mixed race. And it measured her having 50% white. My mother's family would be more Native American and black. So we come from strong, healthy, happy people that have mixed race. We celebrate the American black culture, and that itself has a lot to say. Now, my mother has been to Africa several times because she worked in television, and she just felt like, we have our own culture. It's beautiful. It's God sent. We're so happy to have that ancestry. But we are American, and we have that. We have our own culture here in the United States. And I think that gets pummeled by white America, by everybody. They just don't accept our culture. They don't think that we even know we have one. And I feel like they don't really understand it. So, um, we eat cultural foods, black eyed peas, rice, collard greens, I'm a vegetarian, so I replace meats with other things. But we are very, very understanding, and we acknowledge who we are and we know who we are. Um, Mixed race, mixed couples, that's at home in my family. So we know who we are. And a lot of my family members are writers, movie writers, actors, and television producers when it comes to, the news or talk shows or, things like that. So I grew up with that kind of stuff around me. So if I was kind of made to go and look for the answers and have respect for people that research those answers and just, I think we're also extremely mystical. Um, we are, I would say, we believe in the Creator. We're not as attached to religion, but we have a history in a lot of things. Roots in culture, Vodun, um, mediumship, psychics. I mean, that's all kind of encumbered in my family. It's all kind of in the family. Um, how can I say this? Artists, musicians. I think that if somebody would come to our household and have dinner with us, I think you'll love the food and you'll love the conversation. I think you'll love the atmosphere because no matter what color you are, you're going to be at a diverse table, you know? Um, my nieces and nephews are of our mixed race, or you want to call it triracial, if you want to even claim us as triracial, because we are triracial. We put that on our census. Um, we're black, we're Native American, we're white, Scottish English, Cherokee, Lumbee Indian, and black African descent coming from slaves. And so, interesting enough, I know that sounds really strange, that we're proud of our slave heritage. Okay. And we celebrate Juneteenth. And I even have a cookbook from the slavery days. And we want the best for our people, even though they're continued in oppression. So for me, I believe to be very schooled on myself rather than learn myself from somebody else or my history from somebody else. And I'm so proud to have my grandmothers and my great grandmothers that were in my life and able to tell me about where I came from and take me where I came from. So when I went to North Carolina with my grandmother, she would take us to the plantation. And those were also her family members. So, conversation at our house is going to be really crazy. I mean, compared to what other people think. We have a really, really interesting family. Some look white, some look native, some look black, some look mixed, some look like me. So, we're American. And if you come to that art table, I would like you to remember that. Remember who you're talking to. Look around and see all the beautiful artwork and artifacts and pictures. And so, three things. You come to my household, you eat my dinner, or you eat my mom's dinner, or my grandmother's are all passed, or my dad, whatever. Whatever household you come to, just acknowledge diversity. Acknowledge that I am a black woman and extremely intelligent, and I am also of mixed race. I acknowledge it, and I embrace it. And that is rare for black people, because a lot of black people that are of mixed race, I know they're of mixed race, will just kind of generalize themselves into a Pan-African. Oh, I'm an African American from America, as if they had no attachment to the land. And I think that's different for our family. We are proud Americans and individualist, artistic. And I think that what I gather from many people is that as I was growing up, is that a lot of white people were not only intimidated secretly, but maybe did not assume that we were so intelligent and knew who we were, you know? I have a white boyfriend, he's Italian American, and, he's a little like thrown off because I think he assumed a lot. But what he needed to understand is that assume nothing. Assume nothing. Because even on the ranking of class, we rank high. Assume nothing. So 3 things. Assume nothing. Have respect for diversity at our table. And acknowledge that we identify and we are longtime, deep-rooted Black Americans of a triracial descent. And once you acknowledge that we are walking and living American history, everything's fine. Bye. Inga Kimberly Brown signing off.